Okay, so obviously Free Media Limited owns Tanzania
Daima, yes.
Daima, yeah. So how you finding running a print newspaper essentially, but in this climate, in this political climate in Tanzania, is it giving you more headaches than joys, or?
Well, the current climate, I would say, is much better than it was before.
Right.
Um, although at the moment, our main challenge isn't so much the political climate, but more the climate surrounding newspapers.
Right.
You know, at the moment, newspapers need to. Well, I believe that they need to go more from providing news and go more towards providing commentary and commentary opinion on certain news items, because in terms of breaking the news, we kind of already have smartphones. Everyone,
Yeah.
by the time you, by the time your paper is out the next morning, everyone already knows what happened the previous night. So it's almost as
Yeah.
if you need to move away from just providing news and move towards.
Yeah, doesn't that
Commentary.
speak to the general decline of the print news media industry, where now we are in a digital world and everything is very fast paced, so you sort of have to adapt. How are you viewing this? Like, what steps do you think you have to take to adapt to it?
Well, in terms of adaptation, I believe that I believe that going digital is important for any news outlet at the moment, because right now people mainly consume their news through digital means.
Yeah.
So, I mean, it's not something which is new. It's been around for like the past few years. Sometimes different organizations have different speeds
Yeah.
of 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 adaptation. So
Yeah.
it's up to everyone to move at their own pace.
Yeah, I feel
Because
that, but do you think
of course, if you move at your own pace, then
Yeah.
you have the risk of being caught.
how are
or
we
being left
moving
behind.
here? Because you studied in the UK at was it Sussex? What's it called?
Sussex, yes.
Yeah, Sussex. And you did you notice which year was this? Which years were you up there?
My first year I was in London. This was 2011 until 2012,
Right.
and then for the final 2 years, 2012 till 2014, when I graduated, I was at Sussex.
Oh, okay. Did you? I don't know. This is sort of my understanding of it in terms of adapting to this new environment of news consumption. Are we? By we, I mean Africans in general. Are we sort of catching up, like a bit late to the party when it comes to online content, digital content? So what's your feel for it as someone who runs an organization?
Personally, I do not feel like we are being left behind per se, at least not by much. I feel like technology is available almost everywhere worldwide. So, in terms of the way in which people consume news, it's not much different now here than it is in, let's say, places like the UK, for example.
Yeah, no, I'm not talking about the technology itself. I'm sort of angling towards the content creation aspect. So not the people who consume the stuff, but the people who actually make it available to people. Do you think we are sufficient in that regard here, in terms of like news companies such as Mwananchi or Tanzania Daima? Do you think we've taken the necessary steps to facilitate that?
All right, then, in that case, then yes, there are areas in which we are lagging behind. Creating of content now is so vast and so wide, but yes, I believe that there is room for local media houses to improve the way in which they deliver the news, especially through digital platforms.
Yeah, okay, well, as you know, like on the 3rd of May, there was the World Press Freedom Day. And how do you think us Tanzanians can work towards a press that is sincere and free, in commemoration of World Press Freedom Day? Because that's sort of the running theme that we have going here. It's like let's try explore, talk to people in the business and see what, like, what steps is your organization taking to like maintain integrity, you know, against the pressures that you might receive?
Yes, well, in terms of freedom of the press, I believe that everyone has their own definition for what I believe might be a freedom of the press might not be what the common man on the streets believe is a freedom of I'm a freedom of press. So, but for me personally, I believe that the press should be as free as possible without any interference from external factors, no interference from government, no interference from any political organizations, and I believe that they should not even have interference from ownership of any media house, for example. They should trust their journalists to be able to provide what they believe is what the people want to, is what the people deserve to hear, deserve to see, deserve to read.